All right, hello, Idiots on Parade, the Too Ugly for TV podcast. We mock the news so you don't have to. With me, as always, is Jake Vevra, stand-up comedian in New York City. Hello, Jake.
How's it going?
All is well here. I am Nathan Timmel, stand-up comedian in Iowa City, and I want to jump in today with something light, something fun, something for the kids. Accused double murderer allowed to cover swastika and skeleton face tattoos, but they're still showing. What a lovely first story, Jake. What was your first thought when you read that one?
My first thought was he's actually a pretty good-looking guy. I'm not saying the tattoos look great, but this guy pulls them off. Like, for a guy with swastika and skull tattoos, it's a hard look to make work. This guy still makes it work.
I can see that.
I think he should keep. He looks good with them.
I don't think he has a choice but to keep him, because if he gets that laser tattoo removal, I mean, because it's not just a swastika. Ladies and gentlemen that are not familiar with the story, I mean, he's got Jack Skellington, like surgical lips, like Joker from the Joker. He's got tats. He looks like a modern day rapper. Like I can't think of Jelly Roll, or who's that other one, Post Malone.
It's like a SoundCloud rapper, but only on Truth Social and Newsmax and things like that.
Here's what I think was funny. The reason I sent you the story is because it's all about how his lawyers fought for him to have the right to cover the tattoos with makeup because they would be deemed prejudicial to the jury. The jury would look at him and see the swastika and other face tattoos and think, oh, he's got to be guilty. They would judge him on his tattoos.
That's true. A lot of jurors look at that whole World War II thing as very one-sidesy, you know? They're prejudiced against Nazis, these fucking jurors.
Well, the other part is, though, he's not covering them because I'm not a lawyer. I don't know how lawyers think. But to fight, as they say in the story, to fight to have him have the right to cover up the tattoos with makeup, wouldn't the other lawyer just say, hey, here's a picture of you. Do you still look like this? Yes. And you're just covering this with tattoo or with makeup. So you look like this under the makeup. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this is what he looks like. He's lying to you right now. So if he's lying to you right now wearing makeup, he's probably lying to you about being innocent. Boom, case dismissed, which means or not dismissed, case closed. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. But still, so why would his lawyers fight to have him lie in court when he's trying to say he's innocent of killing the people he probably killed? I'm judging him off his tattoos.
It's rough. Yeah. I mean, I could just see the old-timey Southern prosecution lawyer just like, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I would like to exhibit a picture of this man with no makeup. Look at the skeleton and swastika tattoos upon the defendant when he is not wearing makeup.
Exactly.
But that would be pretty wild.
Here's the thing. He's accused of killing two women, both from Cape Coral. We maybe he did it. The face tattoos suggest he did. I'm a judgmental person. His case has already faced numerous roadblocks, including the death of his first attorney and his attempt to escape jail. Man, you think he killed his first attorney too? You're not doing a good enough job.
His attorney died, and then coincidentally, he had a 6th teardrop tattoo on the sides of his little Skullsy-Poo tattoo. So I don't know. Maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe he tripped and fell and slipped with the old tattoo gun there.
Here's my favorite part of the whole story. My favorite part is not even the makeup or the lies or the swastika or the I'm innocent. It's the fact that his old father, did tell investigators that his son called him asking for help after he'd strangled one of the women and strangled her asleep and rolled her up in a carpet. Help. And then, the dad picked him up, or she picked him. Either way, he called his dad. His dad is like, yeah, Dad, my son did
You know how you never made it to my baseball games much as a kid? Now's your chance to make it up for it. Huh? Come on. A lot of hack dads any dad can show up to a baseball game. That's fine. I can look past that. Okay. Here's the big one. You got to be a real good dad to help me dispose of a dead hitchhiker. Come on, Dad. We'll go fishing afterwards.
Was she the hitchhiker or was he the hitchhiker? Oh, she was. He picked her up, asked her for directions, and choked her and ran over her body so many times that it made her look like spaghetti. Oh my God.
Wow, who wrote that article? They really got they really painted a picture there. And dude, I'm assuming he had the makeup on that he's going to wear in court when he picked up the hitchhiker. I don't know how desperate you got to be for a ride when you're holding your thumb up to where people listen to this. Look at the picture of the guy. If he pulls up and he's
I'll pull
if
you're not watching on YouTube, you can find it. But for YouTube, I'll pull a screenshot off of him and throw it up as we're talking right now.
So you're sticking your thumb up. You're a lady. Hell, even a dude, even a dude who's like 6'5" and fucking ripped. It's like, this guy's probably got a weapon. You're holding your thumb up. You're desperate for a ride. Some pickup truck pulls up. Hell, I don't even care if it's a Porsche. The window rolls down, and staring back at you is a guy whose face is tattooed as a giant skull with a swastika under one eye. And usually the one eye thing, almost like a stamp, almost like it's almost like.
May I interrupt you? I apologize, but it's under his right eye. So if she's on the side of the road and he's in the driver's seat, he pulls over, rolls down the passenger window. It's right there. It's looking at her. It's not like it's hidden over on the other side. She sees the swastika and says, "This is a good idea."
It's in the same place you would put the teardrop tattoos for killing a guy in prison. I'm guessing it means he committed one hate crime where someone died. I'm guessing that's what the swastika in the right eye means. Whatever that was, it looks wild. I don't know who's getting in a car with that guy. Again, not to blame the victim. I'm assuming he had on the makeup that he's wearing in court to hopefully get acquitted, because I don't think the guy did it. Here's the thing. Here's if I was strangling hitchhikers and I knew a dude who looked like that, I'd try to frame him. Yeah. Who's believing that guy over me, dude? Look at I have 0 swastikas or skull tattoos on my faces. There's no way I killed that hitchhiker. It was Gary over there. All swastika face Gary. He did it every time.
I do want to call out Isabel Keene, the journalist who wrote this article. Good job on talking about the makeup. I don't know why she didn't put anywhere in the article what all the fucking tattoos are for. Is he former MS-13? If he is, all props and respect to you guys. We love you. Don't come after us. But why does he have all the tats?
He would have been like
face?
Aryan Brotherhood, MSNBC, or MSNBC, the MSNBC gang. They like the Democrats. No, the MS-13 is Hispanic. He would have been like a white supremacist gang or something.
Oh, but yeah. Why did I say MS-13? It's a fucking swastika.
Dude, he's a good-looking guy, though. He's a good-looking guy. You scrub those tattoos, man. He looks like a younger dude on The Sopranos. He could have been an actor with a face like that. He is a good-looking guy.
He's got good hair. He's got Italian hair. He's got the Jersey Shore hair, all greased back and shaved on. He could.
I would understand the face skull tattoos and the face swastikas a little more if he looked like me. I'm not saying that makes it a good idea, but like I would at least look at it. It's like You know what I mean? You had a little, you took a used Ford Taurus to a demolition derby. I get it. You know what I mean? But this guy looks great. He really, he could have been a goddamn actor with a face like that.
He could have. All right, let's keep things semi-light. I sent you some fun stories this week, Jake. Fun stories are always fun. See how I did that? Trust Jesus MAGA bus crashes on way to Trump rally. The Trust Jesus was either painted on it or a sticker, but where is it? Donna Eden and Rocky Gratana sell Trump-themed souvenirs from the vehicle as they travel to rallies all across the country. RV, infamously decked out in MAGA and pro-Donald Trump signs, has been left erect after it crashed into a utility pole while en route to a rally in support of the former president. I'm scrolling to see if it says... Oh, there are messages such as "Trust Jesus," "I'm the pro-life generation." But I just love that. I guess the obvious joke, the shitty joke we have to make is Jesus take the wheel. It's the Carrie Underwood song, and Jesus crashed the bus.
I'm going to throw him a nominate parte spiritus santi, and I'm going to crash it right into that goddamn telephone pole.
I love the picture of it.
It's an amazing picture.
It really is. I'm going to put the not only they fly the American flag upside down as they're driving it, it's the original 13 colonies Betty Ross circle stars. So they're pissed at the founding fathers for some reason. Has America not been great since the 13 colonies? It's an interesting choice of flag to fly upside down.
To be fair, the founding fathers forgot to specifically say in the Second Amendment, this includes semi-automatic rifles. So
Hmm.
like they didn't put that in there because they're liberal cucks, these founding fathers.
Well,
So I get
yeah,
it.
they did wear women's wigs, so
That was pretty progressive of them, actually. That was
yeah, that's why they're liberal cucks because they were too progressive. But I love
for
the
guys that
picture of
didn't
the
let women vote, they certainly dressed like them, which is weird.
I the picture of the front all smashed up is kind of neat. I can't. You look at it. I guess the windshields are uncovered, so there's a little Donald Trump in the corner, but yeah, I can't believe that's like a traveling billboard, is what that is.
It is. It is. I guess they used to. I mean, I guess they still do, but the people driving the bus like sold MAGA stuff
Yeah, yeah, that's what they said as they
in
would
PA
travel.
and all that. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty much a not just a hey go Trump, but it's like an advertisement for like hey, you
Yeah,
want some shit for your yard in Staten Island? Here you go.
mobile store. Well, the
Yeah.
article ends with our next story because it talks about how Trump was convicted of 34 felons,
But I
and the
will
story.
before we move to the next story.
Yeah,
Before we
go
move
ahead
to the
because
next
they're
story,
kissing cousins. They're intertwined.
sure, sure. I will say that it said in the article that it was actually driven by the guy with the skull and swastika tattoos on his face from the last question. He had just come from murdering Hitchhiker. Anyway, the the political bumper stickers are the dumbest fucking thing you could put on your car. I don't care what party you are. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. No one ever remembers the people who were good drivers that day. No one ever sits there and goes, "Hey, you know that guy with the Biden sticker? Wow, he really signaled before he turned." Like no one that doesn't stick in your mind. You know what sticks in your mind is the one time throughout the day that you cut someone off without realizing it, or you do because you're an asshole, you're in a hurry, whatever. All you are doing is all you can possibly do in terms of the way people remember their driving experience at the end of that day is do horrible advertisement for the political side that you care about, whatever that side, whether it's Democrat, Republican, your PETA, your Second Amendment guy, like whatever. They're going to be like, oh my God, that fucking RFK fan just cut me off. Fuck RFK and fuck him. The only way political bumper stickers make sense is if you put political bumper stickers on a rental car, and you drive like a fucking asshole. You put political bumper stickers for the other side that you don't like, and you just cut people off, and you're rolling down the windows. And, yeah, fuck you. Yeah, that's right. This is what Trump thinks about you people in this purple state. Kiss our dicks. January 6th again. And you just drive like an asshole. You do a false. It's like a false flag operation, but it's a false bumper sticker operation is what it is. That's what I'm doing next time I get a rental car.
I honestly had a joke about the former part. I don't remember the whole don't put political bumper stickers on your car for the reason you said. I never finished the joke with your genius get a rental car and put it on there. My joke I don't remember, but I had the same thought years ago. It's advertising that the instant you do something wrong, you're an asshole and your entire political because that's what people do. People just judge on what they see in the
Yes.
moment.
Yes, that's why I have a confession to make. I will only tell listeners of this podcast I'm the one who drove that Trump bus with the Take the Jesus. That was me. I drove it. I put all that Trump and Jesus shit on it. I'm a liberal atheist, and I was like, I'm gonna crash this into a fucking pole and just run off in the dead of night. And now you guys look like assholes because of me. It was a false bumper sticker operation.
Yep. Take that, Sandy Hook. We've got you
Yeah.
beat. Oh, that was a dark joke. Sorry. All right.
Look at you
But
tagging it with Sandy Hook for no goddamn reason.
well, because you said false flag, and that's exactly where I went. And we're going to talk about Alex Jones in a minute. That was that was dark. The one I wanted to talk about is at the bottom of this article. It talks about how Trump was convicted of 34. Oh, we didn't talk about this last week. First of all, it's probably going to get overturned, but the story I saw was fucking hilarious. If Trump goes to prison after guilty verdict, Secret Service would have to go with him. How beautiful is that? I mean, he wouldn't
Pretty
need to
awesome.
join a gang. He has his own. He could go into prison and be the mouthiest fucking cunt in there. He could be, like stealing dinners or desserts or trading cigarettes, and he's protected. He's got his own gang with him
Yeah, they're gonna have guns and stuff,
24/7.
right?
What?
Yeah. Hey, Latin kings, you're more like Latin ultramen at best. We need to build a wall.
Yeah. I mean, how would you like to again, it's not going to happen. He's not going to prison. It's probably going to get
No.
overturned, but how fun would
Yeah.
that be to watch how would you like that to be your detail? Hey, where are you next week? I got to go to fucking Rikers with Trump.
Yeah, yeah. He's got his Secret Service men like smuggling stuff in for like McDonald's through their buttholes or whatever,
Yeah.
like wrapped up in condoms.
Oh, my goodness. All right, let's talk about Alex Jones. I made that horrible reference off yours, but holy shit. He is liquidating his assets to pay Sandy Hook families in a move that would end his ownership of InfoWars. Now, his idiot show of conspiracy bullshit that sells all the supplements is still going to be on the air. I love the fact that a guy that is fucking obese and looks like a walking heart attack sells supplements to keep you healthy. But
Yeah,
anyway,
that's a weird thing. You should
yeah,
have to look a little better if you're selling health products.
you look like Schwarzenegger at his peak, maybe, or Stallone at their
Right,
peak, or someone buff, but
right.
not a short, fat, squat guy that has.
He's looking like old Marlon Brando talking about this is how I stay so healthy and look like this.
And by the way, you've said this before. I've never heard anyone say this. This is all you. The fact that he interrupts his rants of the world is ending and the government's kicking in your doors and aliens are invading and, pig human. He'll be talking about how the end of the universe is imminent. Oh, but let's take 5 minutes to talk about supplements. That's how you know he's not serious, because
Right.
if he's pausing for a commercial break, how serious can the imminent
Yeah.
threat be?
Yes, because the claims that this man has made is that, I mean, he's claimed things that everybody knows about, like the Sandy Hook stuff, which was like really fucked up, and
Really
fuck
bad.
that guy for doing that. But
Pig human hybrids. He's talking about interdimensional
he
pig
has
human
like
hybrids.
science fiction stuff in there. He talks about the Pentagon communicating with aliens
Yeah.
telepathically by smoking DMT, and we're secretly being run by aliens and shit like that. It gets wild. Like, it gets so wild to where it's like, oh, how could you even take this guy seriously with the Sandy Hook thing, which by comparison isn't that nutty, in that it, at least that conspiracy only involves humans,
Yeah.
and not
Yeah.
aliens and supernatural beings. He talks about vampires and stuff. Like, it's crazy. And so, but if everything that man said was true, if we really were under attack
Even if a tenth of it were
yes,
true.
yes, if we were under invasion from secret alien forces who were trying to subjugate the human race, this man, Alex Jones, would be like George Washington, Martin Luther King, Jesus, Gandhi,
Donald Trump.
yeah, Will Smith from Independence Day. Yeah, I mean, he would be all these people wrapped in one.
I had to
And
throw
so-
Trump in there because of he's a hero. But anyway.
Right. Yeah, he's the man. And so, but if you so if hearing him just cut from the middle of this, we need to get people in the streets. We need to fight against this now. The end is nigh. He goes and breaks directly into the supplements. It's as if you were listening to like 407 years ago. Wait, real quick. I have some ginseng. It's like a ginseng root juice that I sell. It's marked with the union stamp. It's got the union stamp. And my picture on it's the logo of my beard. So buy that. It would be like if you were listening to Martin Luther King in the middle of the "I Have a Dream" speech. He just fucking cut and
I
went
have a
directly
dream.
to
And these supplements that will help you focus and study harder.
He's just throwing in random sponsors in the middle of his "I Have a Dream" speech. It would have been way less iconic. Way less iconic if it was sponsored by General Mills or something.
Oh, but so there's not much to the story other than he's liquidating. Like, literally, he owes 1.5 billion. I don't know how much InfoWars is worth. At one point, he was estimated to be, upwards $50 million. I think was they tried to throw that number out there that he was worth that at one point. I don't know,
but I don't know how you go from 50 million to $1.5 billion, like, or whatever. They hit him for over $1 billion, right?
Yeah, I mean, and I don't want to say deservedly so, but fuck him for what he did. Yeah, it's like you send a message, you fucking lie about kids like that, you piece of shit. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
But it is wild that they hit him with an amount that it's like he could live 12 lifetimes and still never pay that amount. I mean, it's such a high, it's a cartoonishly high amount.
Well, I want to know what he's going to get for InfoWars. I mean, so if he puts it, he declares bankruptcy, so he's liquidating, which means he's selling. He's going to turn over InfoWars to someone else. I'm assuming there's a well, he's dead. Sheldon, I was going to say Sheldon Alden, see the Vegas asshole. I'm assuming there's other asshole billionaires out there who that proof that there's no such thing as karma. The idea that you can be a billionaire and that fucking evil, but who will because there's always assholes like little assholes donate to like Kyle Rittenhouse.
Oh,
I'm
dude,
assuming some
actual billionaires do way more evil things than give money to Alex Jones. These are people who like, they'll poison an entire area of a third world country to dig up cobalt using
yeah.
fucking slave labor. They don't give a shit. Like, lying and getting families of school shootings, death threats is pretty fucking evil. But like, these guys are legit killing more kids than the fucking Sandy Hook guy. A lot of these
But what
billionaires. So
so what you're
they're just
saying,
doing
and
it
I'm
in
just
third world countries.
right, and so okay, hear me out. One of them should buy Alex Jones just to keep the noise level up here because with Alex Jones talking interdimensional beings and, human pig hybrids, you keep people distracted so they don't look at the cobalt mine or the mercury or the diamond or whatever. Some big company should
Yeah.
buy InfoWars to keep Alex Jones alive because he's a beautiful distraction from what evil they really do.
It would have to be a new version of it, Alex. I could because I
You think
think
he's
his
played out?
support. I think his support is way dwindled by this point. I think the Sandy Hook thing really fucked him in the ass, dude. I don't think there's that many. I think he's got like a core following of like diehards, and then
Yeah.
the rest are like just kind of nuts, man. There's too many nutty things that the guy said throughout the years to where it's like, yeah, every now and then he'll have something that's true. It's sort of like that old Mel Gibson movie from the '90s where he's like this
Conspiracy theory.
conspiracy
He was the
theorist guy that
taxi driver.
yeah,
Julie
yeah, and he puts
Roberts.
out like a
Yeah.
newsletter about conspiracy stuff, and then somehow some shadow agency from the government is coming after him. But then, like the whole first half of the movie is trying to figure out, well, which conspiracy are they coming after you for? Because
Yeah.
like you have a newsletter that talks about like a running 57 conspiracies all the time. We don't know which of these is fucking true, and has these guys after you. Like the Epstein stuff, he was the first one to really. I mean, not like I'm sure there was smaller, like
Oh, right,
internet
right,
fringe
right.
people,
He did.
but
Yeah.
he was talking about Epstein before anybody. So it's like yeah, every now and then he will have something that no real media outlets are talking about, and he's the only one doing it. It's true. But for every one of those, there's a whole bunch of nutty shit. And
25
so,
to 70. I think I've
right, it's not a good batting average.
I think I told you this once. I listened to a podcast about Y2K and how the computers were all going to fail, or they remember the
Sure.
fear around Y2K, and they played a clip of Alex Jones. I had no idea he went back that far. I had no idea how
Oh
long
yeah,
he's
he
been
was a
doing this.
big like after 9/11 and stuff. He was against the Iraq war and like
Yeah.
from the jump. And
Well,
I mean,
for
yeah, there's stuff
Y2K, he
that he
did
was
a
dead on about.
he did a live broadcast that was sort of like an Orson Welles War of the Worlds, where he said they're kicking in doors right now. The government is using
The
Y2K
world
to.
order.
None of it was happening. You think that alone would have ended his career?
Right.
Like anytime he said something nutty, you just hey, remember when you said the government was kicking in doors right now as you were broadcasting, and it wasn't happening, but he kept on going.
I don't know how the doomsday end of the world people keep going after their first big the world is gonna end now. Like, why am I ever gonna I
Right.
mean, this is literally the Chicken Little story right now. I mean, right
What?
now with this fucking Y2K shit and the sky's gonna fall on us and we're all gonna die is essentially what a lot of these people were saying about like the Mayan calendars and stuff like that. It is almost literally word for word the Chicken Little story. I don't know how the fuck they still get followers and donations after their first the world is going to end thing. Not like, hey, this could screw up some stuff with banking, and I think we could have some power outages
There's
or
going to be a
something like that. It's like,
zero
all
in the
right, well,
wrong
that guy is
place.
maybe just over. Yeah, he's maybe over careful, maybe a little worried, but he might be right about some of this shit later, but the people who are talking about end of days when they're giving you a specific date and it doesn't happen, I don't know who the hell's still listening to that next pod. I mean, you want to listen to the very next one to hear him backpedal, sure. But like, 2 months
Well, the
later,
math was always
the
wrong.
Lord told me the new date. Like, who gives a shit at that
That's
point?
what I was just gonna say. The math is always wrong. They always forgot to carry the two, something like that. They always like, oh, is it different? But not even specific. I received 2 or 3 comments in the past week. I posted a video about religion. I don't even remember what. I post a video and then I forget what I've said. But I still get the repent because Judgment Day is coming. Jesus is returning. It's like, okay, when? You've been saying Jesus is returning for 2,000 years. Let it go at some point. I mean, at least they don't give a specific day, but it's always right there in the future. Oh, he's right around the corner. Oh, it's like waiting for Godot. Is literally like, oh, no, he's not.
If he was, he'd probably tell more, but like he'd at least be on Instagram, I would think. You know what I mean? Like it's just he didn't he okay, back when there was like 7 people on the planet, back in the year, 3000 BC, the Moses days, God was so direct when talking to people. It's like, I am going to talk to you. I'm going to set this bush on fire.
I was just going to say, sometimes
I am personally going to chisel this thing into the fucking tablets. Now that there's like the internet, there's, there's videos and everything. He should just come down on the 50-yard line at Super Bowl in the halftime show and just be like, sinners, this is the real religion, not that bullshit over there. You could have had all the bacon you wanted. You just got to have the women dressed like this. If there's all these lists, he was big on the list. He was direct. It wasn't like, well, I think he put these tea leaves in this pattern, and I think this means we need to circumcise ourselves. No, he was direct. He was like, cut that extra little bit off your dick. He was very specific back in the day and very direct. He's not direct. He's got all these different religions now, and that means statistically most of these motherfuckers are wrong, and they're going to hell just for picking the wrong team. He's got to come down at halftime and set people straight.
He would be a better halftime show than the past few we've seen. I'll agree to that.
Yeah, I think God could take him. Sure.
Yeah. All right. Georgia Court of Appeals indefinitely pauses the election subversion conspiracy case against Donald Trump. Man, he is the luckiest person on the planet. They got him dead to rights. They've got him on phone. Hey, can you just find me votes? All Fani Willis had to do was not appoint the guy she's fucking. Don't give them any reason to raise any stink. And she's fucking the other guy. And now it's not going to see a courtroom. And when he gets elected in November, it gets tossed. He's gonna pardon himself or just make it go away. But all she had to do was not fuck the guy and promote him. And that's all the defense needed was that to raise questions and throw anything.
I think it's happening because it's a court in Georgia, and they would have done this over parking tickets. They were just looking for anything.
But still,
anything.
You didn't have to go fucking the dude.
Yeah, it's a bad idea for sure. Oh, and like people that are more on our side of the fence, the lefties out there, if this was a dude having sex with a woman that worked for him, he would be a predator. But yeah, I will say, it's definitely. I don't understand what her sleeping with this guy, 2 consenting adults or whatever, has to do with the fucking case. It's unprofessional, sure, but it doesn't have anything to do with this guy being guilty or not. You have a phone call of him saying, get me the 11,000 votes or whatever. You have that on tape. Just send an intern who's not fucking anybody in the office to play the tape. End of case. We're good. You don't need an orator like Johnny Cochran to win this case. You don't. You have it on tape. You have it. So it's so crazy. Or just boot her and get a different prosecutor. Like I don't understand why this is such a holdup.
I mean, it's literally like you said. They were searching for anything to throw at a judge to say, hey, this is a conspiracy. She wanted him guilty, so she surrounded herself with people who wanted him guilty. Of course she did, because she's part of the prosecution. But I don't get it. I'm with you. They were searching for anything, and they found a sympathetic, the Court of Appeals. I did see something funny when it comes to the 34 convictions, by the way. Have you ever seen the meme of Phoebe talking to Joey on Friends? I guess it's from a scene where she explains something to him. Like she took a sentence and broke it down into words, and then he couldn't get it right. Like she,
I
anyway.
haven't
So
seen
for
the
this,
meme. No.
it's a two-panel meme where she goes, "The defense," and he repeats, "The defense was there at jury selection, and signed off on all jurors, and signed off all jurors." Great. Say it all at once. The jury was there, the defense was there, jury selection, and signed off on all jurors. And then the response is, instead of saying it all as a sentence, is Joe Biden and the Democrats rigged the trial. Like you break down that the jury was selected by the defense. They signed off on every juror, and then
Yeah.
they still go back to it's Joe Biden doing whatever. But on that note, speaking this is just a sideways.
I mean, I will say it's a tricky thing when I mean they got a point when they're like, hey, most people in New York don't fucking like the guy. I mean, it's very much true. It's one of those things where you're not going to have 12 people that don't have an opinion about this man. It's impossible, even for the judges. Look, we see the one
they said 12 people. They the hope was that they would have one or two Trumpers in there that snuck in and then would derail all, because they needed all 12. It couldn't have been an 8-4 split. They needed a unanimous decision. And
I will say, I know I said it last week. I think the Democrats are kind of screwed if they only get him
on that one.
The foreign hush money stuff, because it's the, in terms of like the public eye, that's the one that people give a shit the least about. You know what I mean? You got the election stuff, you've got the classified
documents,
and the whole obstruction thing, him not turning it back over when requested. Because let's be clear, that's what the serious charge is. It's not that he didn't realize he had these docs. It's that the Justice Department asked for him and he told him to fuck off. You know, that's what the charge is for. So when you compare it to, well, this guy didn't realize he had it either. Yeah, and then
he told him to fuck off. Then he lied about it, because they found more documents later. But before we get too deep into this, we do have a really smart comment from last week that I wanted, because we're talking about Trump. And last week, I made the comment that, now, Jake, I want to apologize to our listeners. Last week, I made the linear comment. If you talk about time as a linear thing, where President Obama was in office from January of 2009 to January of 2017, and Trump won the next election. So he, on January, whatever, 2017, became president. I made the argument that Trump inherited his economy from Obama. See, Obama was in office for 8 years, so Obama did whatever Obama did with the economy, and then Trump came into office and had to work with Obama's economy. And so we got this really smart comment that says, he took Obama's economy. You definitely suffer from Trump derangement syndrome, Nathan. Yes, because saying that the next president, just like Carter came after Ford, Reagan came after Carter, Bush Sr. Pointing out that the president that follows the preceding one gets that president's economy, that clearly shows that I am deranged and all I think about is how awful Trump is. And my favorite part about this is, last week we talked about things we liked about Trump. In the whole Trump discussion, we talked about what we liked about him. So that just amuses me.
I'm on Trump's side over the hush money thing. I think and look, I think that I get that it's a campaign finance issue, and his lawyer did go to prison for a couple years involving it. So clearly he broke campaign finance laws that are very serious, you know. That said, if you have consensual sex with a porn star and pay her not to tell anyone, and then she writes a book going, hey, I fucked this guy and then he paid me not to tell anyone, she should at least have to give him the 120 grand back. You know, I'm not saying he shouldn't do any kind of punishment over the campaign finance issues. There was clearly issues with how he paid her. Fine, but she should have to pay him the hush money back. If you don't hush, you got to pay back the hush money. That's what I say.
All right, one more story.
He was shocked. He stood up in court and was like, "But I only got a fine for raping a woman at Bloomingdale's. This is bullshit. I've done way worse things than this. I'm never having consensual sex in this city again, Your Honor."
Biden announces order limiting asylum at the southern border. Here's what it will do. Now, the reason I sent you this is because Biden is signing executive orders. I was on Twitter when this news dropped that Biden was signing executive orders, and you had your Ted Cruz's, your Jim Jordans, your Lauren Boeberts, the biggest assholes out there saying, "Oh, he could have done this all along. Why is he doing it now? He's doing it for political reasons. Why didn't he do it sooner?" Hey, dumb fucks. He's trying to do things the right way with a bipartisan bill that was written by a conservative senator from Oklahoma, which everybody said was a great bill. And then the day before it came to the floor, Trump came out and said, don't give Biden a win. And so you tanked it. You didn't even take it in for a vote. So now he's taking executive action. I just love that Republicans will find any single way, and Democrats do it too. But for this, they will find anything to complain about. We need to fix the border. Oh shit, Biden's fixing the border. Why is it doing it now? It's just fucking hilarious. It's all theater.
Yeah, no, I mean, they shot their own border bill down, man. It was written by James Lankford, who's a conservative,
staunch conservative
in the Senate, and they then shot it down so that Trump could run on it as an issue. But they were tying it to Ukraine aid. They ended up later passing the Ukraine aid without the border stuff. So it's really screwing them over on the border issue, man.
But here's the big question. Does anybody really give a fuck? I mean, the people that are like that left that comment, you got really dumb people who will just not pay attention to reality. I went to high school with a handful of them and just scream, Biden's border. They don't know what they're talking about. Did you see, we don't have time to talk about it. Did you see the Republican primary debate for Colorado with Lauren Boebert and several people running for that seat that was moderated by a local Coloradan newsman?
Yeah, Lauren, she jerked the guy off there. Wait, no, I was thinking Beetlejuice. I was thinking a Beetlejuice play.
Okay, look it up for next week. We're out of time. We should talk about this next week. This guy, this moderator fucking hammered them. It wasn't the let the politicians say whatever they want and then don't say anything. This is what we need debates to be like, so that when the people stand up and lie, they fucking get hammered and the people have to listen. But we're out of time. You can find Jake at Jake Vevra on all social media platforms. Yes. He hosts the Twisted Cupid podcast live every Thursday night.
And I'm sorry to the listeners that I was sneezing so much this time. I think my allergies are going nuts. I think I muted it for most of them, but if
you
not,
did, you were pretty good.
Cool.
I can be found at nathantimmel.com. You can find my t-shirt store there. You can find a link to my comedy special on YouTube there. And yeah, keep leaving comments, calling us assholes, and we'll keep reading them on air. Thanks.
I'm going to get drunk as fucking drive around with a Jesus take the wheel sticker.
There we go. All right, my friend.
All right. Have a
good
one,
man. See you
man.
next week. I should have no problems. Like, oh, wow.
Yeah, sorry. My allergies were just
holy shit.
going nuts just now. What's up?
Oh, I got a Charlie horse. My leg just cramped up. Oh, fuck. I'm in pain. Holy. Oh, I can feel it.
That's no good. Sorry to hear that, man.
Oh, my God. I can feel it. There's a huge lump. All I did was shift. Oh my God.
That's awesome.
My whole leg.
That's been happening to Amy since she's been pregnant and stuff.